Hello.
Hello. Happy Canada Day.
Happy
It's
Canada
Rum and
Day.
Coke. Let's go, Rum and Coke. If you need a link to join us in the chat, we can do that. I will do that. I've also forgot to go get the thing.
How dare you?
I hope everybody enjoyed today's dive into. We did something a little bit different where instead of picking apart people's argumentation, it was a lot more social construct analysis, unfucking a ball of fuck. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, oh well. Next time it will be more of our usual fanfare because there are some things that were stated that need to be talked about, but we'll get to that. Court updates. So the next court is happening on the last week of July. So like the 21st to the 27th that week. It's happening inside of that week. And I am going. So the GoFundMe is still up if you want to help me get there. And if not, that's also fine. But the court days are also a little bit longer, so I have to be there a little bit longer. So this time is a whole nother thing. So the GoFundMe is still up if you want to help me out, and if you don't, it's whatever. But I figured I'd let you guys know that was a thing that was happening. So yeah, that's happening. I'm officially going. Yippee skippy.
It is happening.
Yeah.
Yay. You think other people will show up who were supposed to show up?
I'm not entirely sure who all is supposed to show up. So this court date is for Steve. So Steve has to be there, and presumably Steve's lawyer, because I'm pretty sure he has a lawyer. I don't know who is on his witness list or who's supposed to be showing up for him as witnesses, if anybody, because I don't have that information because I'm just a witness. So I don't really have access to that.
Probably wouldn't tell us even if you did.
Yeah, even if I knew, I probably wouldn't say anything. But yeah. So that's fun.
Ding!
I thought that maybe if they tried to make a motion to disallow remote court, that maybe that would mean that a certain Canadian goblin wouldn't be able to give testimony.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah. Like she did last time.
I'm the gingerbread man. I'm going to probably show up regardless. But taking some of the strain financially off of me is very welcome and very helpful, and I appreciate it. But, it's one of those things where I always appreciate getting some kind of financial support, but, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I'll add the link, which I didn't do, by the way. I didn't go and get the link ahead of time because that's how fucking concerned I am about this situation. So this is the reason why, by the way, I never took the link. This is why I didn't turn the GoFundMe off, by the way, is because I figured I was going to end up going back. So I'm going to go back. I don't know if I'll end up having to go again, but we'll find out one day. So yeah, it is official. I am officially going back to Kansas at the end of the month. So if you want to help me pay for travel expenses, it is greatly appreciated. But
watch out for tornadoes.
I will. Yeah. I'm. To be fair, you also get something in return because it means that I'm there the whole time taking notes, and I come back with notes.
Yeah.
So how much about the court case can you say, given that you're just a witness?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, I'm not sure how much is like public knowledge versus classified, quote unquote.
I mean, technically, everything is not public. The harassment campaigns themselves, or like the harassment TROs, the hearings for the TROs are supposed to be private. So the only information I can really talk about is stuff that's already kind of, slipped the lid. So I can clarify or explain things that have kind of already, that if I'm aware of it. right? If there's stuff that I'm not aware of, then I can't share about it, obviously. But if you mean like what I'm allowed to bring back from court, I'm under no obligation to not share things. I don't have a TRO against me. I don't have like I'm not under court orders. So unless I get put under court orders for some reason while I'm there this time, I'll be able to pretty much share anything that I want. I still have stuff that I didn't share from the last one that, from my notes that I was just like, this seems inappropriate. So it's kind of at my own discretion a little bit. Alicia gifted a membership. Thanks, Alicia. It went to Triceratops. Oh, I wonder where that person's from, Dapper.
Hey, Triceratops is cool.
Yeah, they've been in and out and around.
Nice.
Stonebutt said Chesh gets her step stool to stare in Steve's eye. I'm small.
Are we allowed to know whether or not this is Sharla v Aaron and Vader again, or is this Sharla v Steve?
This is Steve. This is Steve. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel comfortable enough sharing that.
Well, you already said something about Steve, so I assumed. But
yeah, this one's so the other thing that is not private, I think, is I don't think because right now, like, because technically Sharla is the protected person still, right? So basically, all of the rules of court is that people the court shouldn't be being talked about by the parties involved, and the TRO is there to protect Sharla, and so people who are under court order shouldn't be talking about court stuff. Of course, we know that that's happening anyway, but I don't know for sure because I'm not an expert on this, and maybe somebody can clarify or add their opinion. I don't think contempt hearings are reserved from public record, so I'm pretty sure those will be public. I think.
Who's in danger of being in contempt?
Steve's already got contempt paperwork served to him. Veda has already got contempt paperwork served to her, and Aaron already has contempt paperwork served to her.
I guess the easier question is who isn't in danger of contempt?
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
At least 3.
Is that the entire that side of the case? Is there anyone left on that side of the case that's not in danger?
Currently, I believe so. So, I'm pretty sure a rumor has it, and it seems to be the case, that Black Wolf and Megs both have restraining orders. However, I have not seen Megs take down her content talking about Sharla. So I don't know if that means that Megs could be served with a contempt if she's supposed to be taking that stuff down. I don't know. I haven't seen that paperwork.
To be fair, the only one out of that whole lot that's been smart enough to do that is Vader, surprisingly enough.
Well, Steve took a lot of his stuff down.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. There's also, I don't know about Rabbit and Rennell. I do know that they're supposed to have some kind of hearing coming up near the end of the year, according to Aaron. I don't know if I'm going to end up being called as witnesses for that. I don't know if they're in talks to settle outside of court. I don't have any of that information. I don't know. I do know that Rennell saying that Sharla was silencing her talking about Katie Joy has been obviously shown to be bullshit, because if you go look at Rennell's YouTube channel, it's full of fucking Katie Joy content that she's been making. So I guess that was a lie.
Who'd have thought?
But Rabbit took down her stuff, right?
Yeah, Rabbit's taken down. Rabbit's been kind of weird. Rabbit's taken stuff down and then put stuff back up, and then taking stuff down and then putting stuff back up. I don't fucking know.
The last I heard, she took stuff down, so that's all I knew.
Yeah, it's one of those where it does a little bit of a back and forth. Is this functioning? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Oh, but it's no. Oh, hey. There we go. Look at the bottom. Membership. Those are going to get updated today. because it's the next month.
Well,
So
then
if you
my
listen to
name
it,
should
remember-
be on there.
Yes, it will be updated as soon as I update it. Which should be today. Ideally, it
Once
should
you finish your beaver meat and maple syrup stew,
be. Yes.
this is traditional for Canada Day,
Yeah. Yes.
with moose fries.
Moose fries.
Is that a thing?
I don't
Honestly,
think so, but like, who knows? It's Canada.
Yeah.
honestly, that doesn't sound
probably.
like the worst meal, but
I didn't mean moose tracks is a thing.
But it's not made of real moose.
No.
Moose
Would
fries
moose-
presumably are made of real moose.
Moose inspired.
Are they?
I mean, I'm just making them up now, so yeah, by my own fiat,
in
yes.
his fictional world,
Yes, in my fictional world where Canada Day traditionally involves maple syrup and beaver stew, yes, moose fries are made of real moose meat.
I don't know also about another thing that could be theoretically happening in court. And that is, it wouldn't be the court, but if we're to believe Renelle, who was posting screenshots and reading out screenshots of emails that she had with Charla claimed that she was reporting stuff to the FBI and the FBI was doing an investigation. And according to Steve, he was also posting stuff to the FBI and the FBI was doing an investigation. So if the FBI is involved and if the FBI is doing an investigation, it is possible that there could be some kind of charges in the future revolving or as part of the investigation that people could be pulled in for subpoenas or for like depositions about the entirety of the situation, the company as a whole as a harassment group. I don't know, though. That is entirely speculation based on the information that the company has provided. And you can decide how much you trust that. So I couldn't tell you.
Well, if Steve said it's not true.
Well, maybe. He did post a screenshot that made it really look like the FBI got annoyed and got tired of taking his calls. It's a picture of some paperwork.
What, they blocked him?
Was he also calling them about his fraud investigation in Tamania to see whether or not she was committing credit card fraud?
I don't know. Was he? Oh my god.
well, you know it's bad when you have something in common with Trumpster Bob.
I don't know how many people get that joke.
Not I. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, go look up Trumpster Bob. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
he just
I want to.
annoys the FBI with like his conspiracy theories about like murderers and stuff. He's
Oh,
like,
so
I
your
know who
average
this
QAnon.
murderer is. It's this guy I don't like on the internet.
Of course.
So your average QAnon user.
Basically.
So what you're saying is Steve is actually the Zodiac killer.
Pretty much.
Literally saying that, literally right before court, I'm gonna make some silly accusations, right?
May as well.
I think in this context he'd be the origami killer, right?
Well, I've been personally trying to, because I'm going as a witness, I've been trying to just think about what I think him or his lawyer would come up with to try to discredit me. Because, like, why wouldn't I think about that? I have to have these conversations with myself in the shower so I can make sure I win them.
Well, let's see. You're an untrustworthy 17-year-old who has already, as we all know, been under FBI investigation yourself for
Right.
something. Let's see. So, plus you're short and a goblin.
Yeah.
Two further strikes against you.
Ah, fuck. I'm doomed.
Let's see.
3 strikes, you're out.
Actual things that they will probably bring up is that you could probably be reasonably characterized as a disgruntled former business partner.
Would it be a business partner or would it be employee or contractor?
Well, see, that is a great thing to have someone bring up on Cross if they decide to go there. So
Yeah. Like,
have your side's lawyers ready to talk about that because, one thing you might want to have their lawyer ready for is like the fact that, hey, you know that contract he tried to give you?
Oh god.
The one
The
that was
one that-
illegal.
The illegal one that Feline red penned the shit out of.
Yeah.
Jesh is a woman and therefore suffering from hysteria.
True.
I'm sure that'll go well to the female judge.
As long as you have the
Goblins aren't
uterus,
people. What are you
you
talking
got the
about?
hysteria.
Oh, and by the way, I'm pretty sure both of the lawyer. Well, I don't know. I know one of the lawyers is a woman. So,
I wouldn't know.
Not sure if that matters, but sure.
if there's somebody's gonna go with Chesh is a woman, therefore suffering from hysteria, I think that might matter.
Yeah, it might.
Yeah.
It might come up.
Might come up. Could be a problem. I don't know.
Yeah, but then they'll just say the lawyer's suffering from hysteria.
The lawyer is suffering from hysteria. The judge is suffering from hysteria. Charlotte's suffering from hysteria. We're all hysterical here.
But really, I would assume that Steve's lawyer will have recordings of at least the mod call.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think he will.
I don't want my voice read in court.
You think that they're gonna play the part of Rez saying "Shut the fuck up, Steve"?
They might. And even if they don't play it in court,
I told the whole lobby to shut the fuck up, but
well, yeah. But the problem with playing it in court, right, is it might be trouble to authenticate it. However,
Sure.
a lawyer can certainly listen to it and then ask you questions about your relationship with Steve to see if you're a biased witness on the basis of what they heard in the mod call.
Yeah.
They could also enter the transcript into the record.
Possibly, but then again, you would still have to worry about getting that authenticated.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
So, like, because that's one of those things, right? You can't just say, well, this is a recording of so-and-so. Like, well, how do you know? What's your source on that? Who collected this? You know, how do we know it's authentic? And, I mean, that's something you can overcome. Like, you can overcome those hurdles of authentication, but, like, unless you actually do so, you can't just randomly have some transcript of a recording entered into the record. You need to actually have it authenticated.
Really?
Yeah,
You can't just have surprise evidence?
Yeah, no, it turns out that that's just a TV thing. You can't actually just randomly show up with brand new recordings and whatnot. I mean, okay, technically you can, but you then have to go through the trouble of getting them authenticated before they can be entered into evidence, right? So if you did just come up with a new recording and you want it to be in evidence, there are methods to do that, to get that entered into evidence, but you can't just show up with it in court and hit play and expect that to work. Like that's not how anything works.
Voice changers exist.
I mean, voice changers exist. Also, sometimes people sound like each other.
Fake audio as well is possible.
Yeah, also, like, when was the recording made? Is it actually relevant to what you're talking about? All that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would assume that his lawyer will have listened to everything available about you and Steve and any
You think so?
personal
Because
business relationship.
that could be a lot of hours, and that would
a lot of billable hours.
Expensive, right? Yeah, exactly. So do you think? Could you imagine like the lawyer sitting there listening to Caffeine Corner for like 5 hours?
Yes. Well, okay. To be fair, I can picture the lawyer's paralegal doing it.
Oh, sure.
You've probably got a lot of interns doing that shit.
Yeah, there's like junior associates, paralegals. Those are who's going to be doing that.
Oh, that sounds really expensive. Why do I get the feeling that even if there is an amount, it's not going to be very much?
Well, that's the thing. It's probably not.
Yeah.
What's probably going to happen is that they'll have like a couple interns, maybe a junior, maybe some paralegals who are going to listen to almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to filter out what they think is significant and send that to whoever Steve's lawyer is and say, hey, these parts of these videos are things you should look at and be familiar with for the case. And then that might be something that's brought up. Because one of the things that they're probably going to try to do if you testify is try to make it so that they can pass off your testimony as just someone who's angry at Steve and who will say anything to hurt him.
Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes sense to me. That's the main thing I could think of that would come up.
Yeah.
But it also has to.
I mean, it's what I would get for if I were the lawyer.
Well, yeah, it has to also be within the scope as well.
Well,
So
if it goes to establishing your credibility as a witness, and it could reasonably be inferred
Yeah.
that you are unreliable as a witness as a result of the nature of your past history with Steve, then it's probably relevant.
yeah, I don't know. So I don't think I mean, it would be on the lawyer to dispute the relevancy if they wanted to try to do that.
Right.
Not me.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to prepare, you know what I mean? So I also feel like that asking some of these questions to try to establish this is going to open up a lot of like a big can of worms that I don't know if is going to be useful or a good idea for
Steve.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, unless it actually is important to the actual matters in the case, it's not supposed to matter to the judge, or is there a jury? I don't think so.
No, there's no jury as far
That's
as
just
I
a
know.
contempt hearing. Yes, there's not going to be a jury.
Yeah.
But like technically, unless it's important to the actual facts or law of the case, it's not supposed to matter to the judge. But then again, judges are people, and you know, they take into account how you present yourself in court and what kind of person they seem to think you are and stuff like that. So
yeah, it goes to the facts of the matter, right? Or it goes to the
character of the because remember, in a contempt hearing, Steve has basically been accused of a crime by the judge, and the judge is going to be the one who is deciding whether or not he has committed said crime. Yeah,
right now the way, from my understanding, the wording is that that he's got paperwork where he has to prove how he's not in contempt. He needs to show how he's not.
Yeah, because contempt is weird, right? Because normally, in order for there to be like a criminal penalty or anything like that in the United States, you have to prove the person accusing, or the side accusing, needs to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that the crime has occurred. But because contempt is something that occurs, generally speaking, either in court or very publicly, like if I go home and I'm in a case and I say, oh yeah, that judge is an asshole, and I say that to like someone who I'm living with, as like a family member or a roommate or something, I'm not going to be held in contempt for that, right? But if I go out on like, the 6 o'clock news and I start, saying how much the judge is an asshole, well, maybe. And also often contempt is pretty obvious. Like, hey, you're required to show up and you manifestly didn't. The presumption is a little like reverse, where it's like, hey, the judge knows that there's every reason to think you're in contempt. Why should he not make that conclusion?
Right.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello.
Hey, Manya.
Hi, how you doing? What did I miss?
Oh, just talking about stuff Steve's lawyer is probably going to bring up during the contempt hearing.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
I think there's a good chance he'll have that recording of you and me and Chesh and Steve in that abortion of a moderation call.
The mediation one, I think.
Mediation, that's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That'll save Rez the embarrassment. He wasn't in that one.
Well, if they're going to use that one, they're probably going to use both.
If Steve... What's the relevancy of that? I don't get it.
So basically, there's not a whole lot that they can do to discredit Chesh, as far as I can tell, besides point out that she and Steve have had a contentious relationship over the years, to put it mildly, and that therefore her credibility should be seen as somewhat suspect because she has a motive to harm Steve, regardless of the facts of the case.
Then Steve needs to maybe sue Chesh in another case, like a Tiara, like he tried to do to Sharla, if he thinks that Chesh is... because it's a contempt hearing for an arrow he violated, right?
Yeah.
So it was... So how is he going to prove himself innocent by accusing someone else? That's confusing for me.
Well, what I mean is if Chesh gives testimony that is supportive of the facts that would then go against his defense or that would in any way support the contempt finding, they could lessen the significance of her testimony by calling
okay,
her
I see.
reliability into question, in which case then any testimony that she gives that might otherwise have lent itself towards a finding of contempt would have to be, at the very least, discounted if it turns out that the judge decides that her testimony is unreliable.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a matter of whether or not like Steve did something wrong to me or I did something wrong to Steve. It would be a matter of, do you think you can discredit me, or does Steve's lawyer think they can discredit me enough to say that my to get my testimony either removed or not taken seriously, or if they can show that I've lied, that then they would, you know what I mean?
Good luck.
Oh yeah, it would not be an easy time because I don't really have any. There is no motivation for me to lie. I don't like. What value would that be to me? Why would I do like revenge? Yeah. So they're gonna have to try to slap me with that revenge plot.
Oh yeah, you are an obsessive girlfriend on a revengeful part.
Well, they don't have to say girlfriend,
yeah,
but
right.
they can probably go with former business associate that's now just.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's like
that she's owed. I mean, if they go for that mediation call, they could plausibly make the call that you feel like you're owed tens of thousands of dollars that you don't think you're ever going to recover, and that this is your way of getting back at Steve. That probably wouldn't be that hard of an argument to make. Now,
I don't.
Whether or not
it's whether or not it's going to be enough, and whether or not it is going to, because you can't just having like, okay, so let's put it this way. Let's pretend that was true, right? Let's pretend that that's what I was doing hypothetically. You would still have to not only show that beyond a shadow of a doubt, and two, my personal motivation only matters if you can show that it matters enough to make my testimony invalid or not be trusted. So it needs to go like hand in hand with other things to have it like tossed out in its entirety.
So also,
they actually don't need to show that you're biased beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
They just need to show it to this point that the judge takes it seriously.
Right.
And that judge is not, especially since it's in favor of a defendant in this case, the judge does not need it to be beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're unreliable. If it's just plausible, that might be enough.
Well, it needs, it's one of those things that'll need a little bit more than just my personal motivation, I think, because like, even if my personal motivation is kind of notwithstanding if what I'm saying tracks with what is shown.
Well, yeah, that's another great way to rehabilitate a witness is if you've said something that makes them seem unreliable, to say, look, this is all corroborated by this other evidence, this other testimony, this other thing. So even if, maybe, this witness has some credibility issues, everything she's saying is in line with all the other evidence.
Right. So it's not like I get tossed out of the courtroom because
No, absolutely not.
I used to work with Steve, because that would make no sense in any court.
That
ever.
will actually prove you right. Actually, it can backfire immensely. Like, because the judge can be like, okay, so you have a habit of, dismissing women around you, especially women around you, by saying that they're vengeful towards you. This is a pattern of behavior from Steve. So judge can take it another way, and you never know. So Steve's lawyer will be, in my personal opinion, if they decide to go that route rather than, try poke holes in your testimony, it can backfire on them. It can really, really backfire on them, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we'll see if it ends up being like how this ends up, because I know that because Steve already has a restraining order, right? He didn't, like his went through because there was a fuck up or however it was. I think I know what happened, but I'm not going to get into it because it's weird. But he already has a restraining order. It is a currently active restraining order. He's had that restraining order for a while. So this case coming up is going to be like one of a couple of different things. So I don't know if it will end up actually being a contempt hearing, or if it's going to be a hearing for one of two other options, or all three. I'll guess I'll probably like find out.
I think so, because the judge can, it's possible what the judge can do is it will be like, because for the logistics of it, right, the judge will say today itself we will have a look at your appeal application, and then we'll have a look at your contempt charges also at the same time. If the appeal application is denied, then we go ahead and we will deal with your contempt charges and everything. So it's possible, for the sake of logistics, the judge might go that way.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you. It's really it's kind of wacky. From my understanding, again, maybe I'll never know, but from what I can tell, the judge for even Veda and Aaron's case has not come forward with a resolution or a, what's the word, ruling.
Ruling. Yeah.
And it's been since March, May. March. May? I think it was May. I think it was May. I think it was May.
That's not that long.
It's yeah, I guess. And as far as I know, I guess I don't know. I don't think they did the contempt yet, but they might have already. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
They were served with the papers, right? They were served with contempt papers.
They were served with the contempt papers in February, and then they had to go back.
Trish, the real question is, are you going to fly out and then also go see the Ark Encounter?
In Kansas?
No, it's in Kentucky, but I mean, it's a short plane ride.
You guys want to send me on a whole ass trip?
I mean, it would be interesting to hear your take on the Ark Encounter.
If somebody drops me like $5,000 right now altogether, I will, instead of just going to court, I will trip around America a little bit.
Wow.
You could monetize a vlog.
$5,000.
I'll go visit. I'll fly down. I'll take a train, and like go to Arizona and go to, like, I don't know, wherever.
Where?
So Arizona and Kentucky.
I
Got
guess.
it. I mean, I would also suggest, like, if you're going to do a trip around America, I would also suggest, like, if you like museums, the Smithsonian, you could get to Disneyland and or World. If you like super expensive theme parks.
I literally care less about Disneyland. I wouldn't hate going to visit Seattle. Seattle might be fun.
Yeah, and this is the right time of year to do it, too, because most of the year, Seattle is just rainy and depressing, but during the summer, it can be sunny and nice, and you can actually see things like the mountains.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, just the city is visible instead of just blanketed in fog and ever-present drizzle.
Ash Scott was asking who was suing whom, and basically Steve has an active restraining order against him because he kept making content about some private lady and was like reaching out to her friends and stuff. And from my reading of it, of a mod call that got leaked, he was trying to frame her in California court for something she didn't do that he kind of figured she didn't do, but wanted to frame her for doing it anyway.
He knew she didn't do it, and he still tried to pursue that. That's the
a woman who's in his life because he invited her to basically do him with some favors, and then he was like, "How dare you?"
Yeah. So now there's hearings set for the end of July, and I'm going because I'm a badass.
Hey.
Because I put my money where my mouth is, and I put my ass where I decide to put my face, I guess.
What?
You heard me.
I think that's another option for your OnlyFans right there.
Hey.
So I think so. There was a person called Just Saying in today's live stream, and they were asking a couple of questions. Jesh, have you been able to answer them yet?
No, I didn't have the questions pulled up, and they haven't come back. So I was kind of waiting to see if they came back.
Oh, okay.
They're not here, so I mean.
Yeah, well, I tagged them and gave them the link, so I don't.
Oh. I don't know. I think just by chatting about this, I've probably answered the majority of their questions.
It's possible. Yeah, I wasn't here, so yeah.
Do you remember any other questions off the top of your head that you think I should was important?
They were like, how many ROs or TROs are there? They were asking. That was one question.
Oh, currently active. So okay, I know that Veda has a TRO. Steve has a restraining order. Aaron has a TRO. Rabbit and Renell both have TROs. So that's
Okay.
that's 4 TROs and 1 restraining order. I'm pretty sure Wolf has a restraining order. And the reason I'm pretty sure about that is because Wolf freaked out on Twitter and started making threats when he served his paperwork.
Oh.
And then
Which is smart.
Right. Judging on like the amount of time before the first hearing would take place for somebody to respond to, like based on the amount of time that's gone by, I'm pretty sure he would have a restraining order, if not a hearing coming up. And I feel like if he had a hearing coming up, we would never hear the end of it. So, utilizing context clues, I'm pretty sure there's at least 1 restraining order on Wolf, more than likely. The one on Steve. And then I think Megs probably has 1, but I don't know for sure on that one. That's a rumor, so I'm not 100% sure. So
Okay.
if you want to go with rumors, there is at least, what'd I say? Aaron, Veda, Renell, Rabbit, 4 TROs, and 3 restraining orders. One of which I'm not 100% sure on.
Who has a second restraining order again? Sorry, one is Steve.
Steve and Black Wolf.
I don't think I'm familiar with this Black Wolf person.
Lucky you.
I mean, I had assumed so. Yeah.
He's a angry yelly man who likes to just freak out at people for ostensibly no reason.
Wait,
I
he's not the
need
kind of guy
Wolf.
who might go on a rant about pronouns in a video game,
Because
Steve sent to me to give me a picture of Steve's swatting event record.
The swatting event where the police politely knocked on his door to see
Yeah. The paperwork that makes it look like the FBI is tired of listening to Karen Steve shit. That paperwork.
Jeez.
Wolf. Steve sent Wolf to give me that.
Probably Wolf has spent his whole life. I'm just guessing. Okay, I'm just guessing based on his behavior. He's probably spent his whole life, putting and wearing women around him down by yelling at them and screaming at them when they don't do what he wants them to do. And he thought he could do the same with some of the women online, like Chesh, me, and a couple of other women on Twitter. And when that didn't happen, he just spiraled the fuck out of control.
Oh, maybe. I know he likes to go after Alice and likes to
a lot, yeah.
Based on nothing, call her a PDF.
200 tweets a day.
Oh my god, yeah. God, dude. He also like retweets and supports like racist, transphobic, Nazi sympathizing Holocaust deniers.
Is Steve still pretending not to be a transphobe? Is he still doing that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think he's making an attempt.
I mean, I could give him some advice, and it would be, Steve, if you don't want people to think you're a transphobe, you could just stop acting like a transphobe. Just
you could just not talk about the topic, and nobody would know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he could just not be one. That would help too.
I think they don't know the line between being a transphobe and not being a transphobe. I think they don't know the difference.
There's a
at
line.
all. Well, it's kind of here.
Thought we dealt on spectrums here.
For transphobes?
No, in general.
Huh?
No, we're all on the spectrum, the other type of spectrum.
Oh, okay.
No, not that one. No, not that one.
Also,
The
yes,
other
that
one.
one.
Also,
Gotcha.
yes, that one.
Gotcha. That one. Okay.
The
Yes,
color
but
wheel.
also.
I got it.
Yes, and.
Oh my god, this is funny.
Welcome to Rum and Coke Night.
Yay.
Spectrums are on a
Freaking
spectrum.
Welcome to Rum and Coke Night, where everything is stupid and we can't have trans bathrooms because of the plumbing. The buildings are old.
Yeah, you can't just knock out a wall and just make it one big room. You can't
You
do
can't
that.
just change the sign on the door.
Yeah, you can't do that
Whoa!
either.
Yeah.
Well, so I did actually see today a sign that said "Do not touch extremely hot." That also had Braille,
Ooh,
and I thought that was like,
brilliant.
Yeah, like Braille.
That's-
No, it's not brilliant.
It doesn't matter. I also saw it. I actually took a picture of it at one point. I was at a hotel, and I passed the laundry room, and way up at the top of the door was a sign that said "laundry room." And this was, a good like 8-foot door or something. And at the top of that, it says "laundry room," and then it's written in Braille. And I'm like, no one is ever going to be able to read this Braille. What are you doing?
Okay, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I feel like all books ought to be printed double space so the other space can be used for Braille.
I guess maybe, but then again, I think it's probably a lot cheaper to just print Braille editions
Oh, everybody should just learn Braille. Why do we need to even bother?
because Braille is harder if you can see.
Damn. I
Yeah.
feel like everybody should know sign language too.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree that I think that hearing people should have more knowledge of sign language. I certainly agree. As someone who knows a little bit of American Sign Language, not
Mhm.
very much, but also as someone who has, like deaf family and whatnot. But on the other hand, it's also a foreign language, and it's already hard enough to get most people to learn like French or Spanish. So,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
feel like
isn't
it's one
like
of those things
70%.
that it ought not be treated as a foreign language, even though, like, I get that it is. But it is
doesn't-
one of those
it is.
things that I just think it's beneficial for everybody, even if you don't know anybody or don't have family members, because then you can sign to your friends when your house gets broken into without having to make noise when there's a serial killer.
I mean,
But
certainly there are advantages.
kids in class can talk to each other without
That might be seen as a
I was about
disadvantage
to
by the
say that.
educators, but
I was about to say
the
that,
thing
like,
is-
start in school, it will be fine. They will catch on to it.
I've used sign language for that exact purpose in school, right?
Yeah.
Like I've done it. But the thing is, it still is a foreign language, no matter how you want to
Yeah.
treat it or however you want to conceptualize it. If you are a native speaker of like English or French or Spanish or whatever else, right? And you're a hearing individual who learned a spoken first language, learning sign language is at least as difficult as learning any foreign language, right?
It should be taught in immersion.
I mean, ideally, that's how you just teach most foreign languages.
Yes.
Although there are still things that,
What-
even
what I mean is-
long-term immersion doesn't always help you with. Like, for instance, native English speakers
Retention.
usually, well, like specifically, like if you are a native English speaker and you're doing like say French immersion,
Mhm.
chances are you're not going to catch completely onto the fact that French expects and to some extent requires you to align the tense of all your verbs in the entire sentence,
Yeah.
because English doesn't and French really does. And so there's going to be stuff that you're going to miss even in a complete immersion. Like there's
I mean, people miss shit in English. Like, so what?
well, I mean, I'm not disagreeing that total
Don't get
immersion
me
is-
started, Chesh. Don't get me started.
I'm saying total immersion plus some, like grammatical help for grammatical details that total immersion doesn't always fix.
It's just
But,
one of those situations that it is one of those things that, like, I also understand that languages tend to be a use it or you lose it.
Yep.
And I think that it would be a good idea to, the same way you do a French immersion, that all the schools should be doing sign immersion. And I think that people would have a better excuse to use sign language more than they do French in, like,
that's-
Canada, for example.
I mean, yeah, unless you're like, like in Quebec or something, yeah, probably.
Right.
Um,
So I mean,
and
I might be wrong about that. That's
But the
just
thing
kind
I'm
of my
thinking of
interpretation.
in like a U.S. Like context, because I'm a USian, is that like the number of people who speak Spanish significantly outnumbers the number of people who speak sign language. And
Yeah.
so if you're just going from just a straight up, okay, we're going to teach the kids a language, and we're going to teach them the language that's going to be the most useful to them in like actual real life. it's hard to argue that it's not Spanish over sign language, which sucks because I really do think that people should be at least somewhat familiar with some of the local sign language so that they can, at least.
I'll tell you,
with the deaf
when I was
community,
working. When I was working for McDonald's, a lot of people who couldn't speak would come to the counter and they would ask for pen and paper to write down their orders. And I felt so guilty at that time that I didn't know sign language. And then they ended up saying some shit that I kind of realized took me a second. Oh shit, they don't know. And then write it down again for them so they get it. In customer service, I think so people facing jobs, bank tellers, McDonald's restaurants and all that. I think so. The preference should be if someone knows the sign language, they should get a preference over another candidate, in my opinion.
Could you imagine never having to speak to another customer again because everything is in sign language?
Yes.
That sounds great.
Well, it sounds great. So you realize that people can be just as pissy in sign language as they can be.
Just as pissy, but when you close your eyes and do that internal sigh, you actually can't hear them anymore. But okay, so the guy came back. The just asking person who was asking questions and wanted answers on TRO stuff. So we did talk about it a little bit, but I do want to answer some of this person's questions because I don't know if they're just sea lioning, but I also don't care. I'm willing to answer questions and entertain.
How nice of you.
I'm a nice guy. So, okay, I just can't understand how these are TROs. It is not domestic violence.
That's
not a question.
Yeah. Also, so here's the thing. Domestic violence has never been the only reason that people get restraining orders against other people. It's never been a thing. There's always been things like just regular role violence, bullying, harassment. There's also stuff like if someone has been
stalking,
yeah, and none of these are actually domestic violence because to be domestic, you have to have a domestic relationship. So generally, you have to be either close family or living together or romantically involved, and those aren't the only kinds of crimes and harassment and stalking that happen. So yeah, it's the idea that someone has to be involved in domestic violence to get a restraining order is just an automatic no, you fundamentally are not understanding what restraining orders are and when they are given.
It would not surprise me when you factor in all the kinds of TROs and ROs you can have for multiple different reasons. It would not surprise me if domestic violence is the least used reason.
It would actually surprise me if it's the least used. It wouldn't surprise me if it's not the majority.
There's also another thing too with the temporary bit, and the temporary bit matters because it ostensibly just means that while we are figuring this out, abide by these rules to cease and desist whatever is going on.
Yeah.
And then so it is not an admission that somebody has definitively done something wrong, right? It is simply just a court order to say, you might be doing something wrong. We're going to figure out whether or not you're doing something wrong. So whatever you're doing, stop it until we know what's going on and make a decision.
It's kind of like when a court orders a stay pending a judgment. It's like, we're not making the call, but we're saying because if the call goes a certain way, it's very important that
also
everything stop right now, that we just do it now temporarily.
So what basically the person against whom the TRO is being told is that someone is claiming you did something. We are trying to figure out, like Chesh said, but don't do something that might get you into trouble in that meantime. Just don't.
Well, most of your paperwork, because now I've seen good amount of temporary restraining order paperwork. Most subtle. Most of the paperwork will have instructions written on it saying what the restraining order is, what it means, and actions that you are not to take in the interim. And it'll have a list of examples and a list of definitive
things. Just because something has been penned in the section where it says, okay, what else? You want the person not to do. Just because it's penned in doesn't mean that you don't have to follow it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be typed.
Yeah. You have to follow everything that's in that restraining order.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, but you probably should.
Yeah, you should.
And if you don't, you could be in serious trouble.
Exactly. So like this whole thing about nothing says in the restraining order, I'm trying to be really, really charitable that it's possible that certain people mistook that because it's been entered by the person who's accusing them of, harassment and whatever, or the lawyer of that person, individual, it doesn't mean anything because the judge hasn't entered it or it's not on the form. The judge signed it. So the judge approves it. So yeah,
So thank you to Triceratops. Placentas are not electrical outlets.
It's true, they're not.
For the
Oh my God.
obligatory, this is not legal advice. If you need legal help, you should consult a professional about your case. And also,
Yes.
pro tip, do not violate court orders.
Yeah, that's not legal
My
advice. That's just
simple
life
advice.
advice.
This is just clippy.
This is
Yeah.
just our interpretation of what documentation has been served and what information is available.
It looks
in
like you're
public
trying to
at the
violate a
moment.
court order. Would you like help?
Also, my simple advice
You
is
don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You need to sit the fuck down. Would you like some help with that?
my simple advice is get a lawyer and shut the fuck up. Simple as that. Or just shut the fuck up. Like people going like mad over this simple advice that I gave and saying that I shouldn't be giving some sort of advice or something. Like I'm like, listen, number one, I know about your about how to interpret whatever. Okay, how to translate or understand or comprehend legal paperwork better than you guys. So listen to me when I'm telling you, shut the fuck up. You, as Chess said, you don't have to take my advice, but then don't go running around everywhere, blaming me for oh, Manya baited me into saying something. I was telling you to shut the fuck up.
I mean,
Like,
generally, when you're a party in a legal matter, shutting the fuck up is a pretty good option. Just as a general rule.
And in these cases, you could just choose not to engage and just let it go. You could just let it go.
You just stop. You could literally not at any given point in time.
Yeah.
You
not
just
stopping you from just
let it
not.
go.
But
Yeah,
has-
exactly,
Hold it
Has
back
Steve
You got
ever
it.
just not in his entire life?
What you're
Well,
going to say.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
Because, look, I told him multiple times, I was like,
Oh.
dude, I get your, beef with KJ or whatever, but, no one,
no one gives a shit.
Yeah, no one really gives a shit, right?
Just don't.
You
It's
can
like-
be
just
upset with
don't.
somebody and
It's
not.
so funny. Like these people, they're like, "Oh, Steve was wronged, blah blah blah." So he has every right to speak. I'm like, okay, so he can go on whining and bitching for 5 to 6 years, and I am talking about something very significant from 2 years ago, but I should move on. And then they go like, "Oh, it's getting accused of sexual harassment is much more grave than being accused of fraud." I'm like, are you sure? Are you fucking sure? If you commit chargeback fraud, what are the different crimes you can get accused of? What
Yeah.
can be piled on that?
It
Do you have
depends
any
on-
idea?
I mean-
yeah, it's like, oh my god.
Mind you, I'm
depends
not a lawyer, but, I think there's a fair chance that a lawyer would tell you that you would have a case to sue Steve over that whole.
Oh yeah, I'm actually looking around for a couple of lawyers so that I
Okay.
can serve maybe cease and desist or something like that to either to Aaron and Steve first, and then we'll see about other people.
'Cause,
I'm not too worried
mean,
about others.
My understanding, and again, not a lawyer, so but my
But-
understanding is that if you accuse someone of a crime, and it's just blatantly not true, that can be defamation per se, if it can be shown that you knew that it wasn't true.
Yep. And yeah, like Amber Heard accused
I
Johnny
feel
Depp,
like
right?
we're at the point where Manya doesn't just have to go after Steve. She could probably go after Aaron.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Aaron and Steve. If I'm going to serve
Sure.
cease and desist, it will be both of them at the same time.
Fair.
And if it's going to be defamation, they both will be parties together. Like, yeah, you both are conspiracists, and you need to either dish
Sit
out
the
what
fuck
you
down.
have, yeah, or sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, like Rez said. It's
Guys.
what?
Did that answer your question? Just asking, by the way.
Oh yeah, sorry, mate. We just like ran with it. Oh my god, sorry.
The question
Hopefully
was
that-
less a question and more a statement of confusion.
Yeah. So if you do have a question, please do try to tag me just in case I miss it. But yeah,
I guess
hopefully
they
that
were.
helps.
I guess they were asking like if there is like more to a TRO than just domestic violence charges. I guess that's what their question was. I guess you
Yeah,
could take
it's
it
a
that way.
general question.
Stonebutt from the live chat said, "Don't you all know Steve has to ignore the actual plight of women so he can go on and protect women by attacking other women?"
You know what that sounds like? That kind of sounds like that meme of God sent his son to kill his son to save him from himself. Like, what is it? Sent himself to sacrifice himself to himself to save us from himself. Like that meme.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Steve does like to pretend to be like a champion of women and the downtrodden, and then always he always seems to then be involved in like the horrible mistreatment of exactly such people. It's weird.
Does anyone
when
remember?
Steve had the police called on him, he could have been a black woman.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
True, I suppose.
I'm like, this is the way like some people like cover up their their what should I say, entitlement? No, their what's
Privilege?
the word, man? Privilege. Fuck my life. Yeah, to cover up their privilege and say that they're not privileged. You are privileged, Steve. You're a white male in America. You're the most privileged of all, actually. And actually, an old white male, an ex-veteran. Yeah, you are the most privileged of all. Let me just tell you.
I think veterans kind of get shit on. I'll push back on that.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Well,
veterans get shit
on
on.
who.
Well, American veterans, anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Steve's an American veteran.
Yeah, he's an American veteran. Okay. So like he's the most he's the most privileged of them all. So to try and like then say try to label himself or categorize himself with one of the most least privileged or having no privilege, at all class of humans, to justify his vitriol, it's like this is what it looks like when people exploit. Like people exploit Holocaust, racism. This is what it looks like. And I keep pointing out, and for some people, yeah, it's like they don't get it, or they don't want to get it. So yeah.
I feel like I am not marketing myself properly in this scenario that I've found myself in. I am literally traveling to another country at risk to myself under threats of attack and potential death and defamation to fight online harassment like the hero I am.
But Chesh, it's just fucking YouTube.
It's just fucking YouTube, dude.
But where's the lie, though?
Where's the lie?
Yeah.
Where's the lie?
You lie! You lie!
Shut up, Grr. Actually, it was that's not Grr that says that. That's Zim. But yeah, like, I feel like I'm not, I'm not pontificating about how great I am for doing this to try to convince people to send me money.
Well, I mean, start talking about how great you are and how brave and courageous and
hold on. I'll get in the captain's pose.
If I get one more,
let me get in the captain's pose and just like, I'm the best, everybody, send me money.
Oh my god. If I hear another one of them, like one of the company go like, oh, it's just fucking YouTube, I'm just gonna have a like, I'm gonna spasm out, and seriously, yeah, it's like, if it's just fucking YouTube, what the fuck are you doing on YouTube, like bitching about Katie Joy? What do you want to achieve by being on YouTube? Oh, you just want to bitch about Katie Joy? Really? That's all? Okay.
Yeah, for someone who's on YouTube to say that what happens on YouTube doesn't matter is always a little weird.
It's so weird, yeah. And then to like pretend like because you have certain number of for the paradox again, the fucking paradox, like when someone calls them out, oh, you want clout from me, but when someone says by calling them out you have impacted someone, I'm just a small channel, how would I impact someone? Like the fucking paradox there, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
it's
Especially
also
when they're bigger channels than the people critiquing them. Like,
No. When there are people like me who have just like 300 subscribers on the channel, I'm told
Well-
like I'm trying to go for clout. I'm just like, dude, my
Oh.
channel is not
Oh, I-
monetized. I don't care. I just put my videos out and that's it. I don't go around like saying, oh, subscribe and share, guys, blah 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 blah. I don't do that. I'm just like I put it out and then maybe I share it on my Twitter. Yeah, that's it. Like
yeah, I misunderstood what you said, but
yeah, it's
we're
the
good now.
yeah, it's fine. It's the paradox of this whole thing. Oh yeah, you want clout, but am I really that effective? I'm like, really? Do you listen to yourself when you
I
talk?
mean, also numbers are kind of a misnomer because you can have a
Yes.
large effect but a small following.
Yeah, we heard in that
Yeah, I guess.
live stream, someone saying that they have a good standing in the community, and that by staying silent, it caused harm. And I was like, oh, okay. So, some of them do acknowledge that they have influence in the community. They just don't acknowledge it when they're called out on it. That's it.
This is my favorite question so far in the chat. We got send Chesh toads. And then
Yes.
we got does Chesh like toads? and as a goblin, I feel like I'm obligated to say yes, but also toads are great. I do not currently have a pet toad, but I do intend on getting myself like a 5 to 10 gallon tank in the next in a couple of years, and getting like a nice planted tank with like a betta fish. But I'm not doing that until after Puck dies, so it won't be for a couple of years. Ash asked a question I'm interested in. This is just asking is back. Welcome back. People who make money shit talking each other shouldn't file court orders. That's not a question.
Again, that's
an opinion.
Sharla, if you see that Sharla wasn't talking about the creators, she had shut up and go away. But these creators didn't stop shit talking for money. Aaron said
Sharla also never made money on the internet for this. She's not a content creator.
I don't get it.
Well, I'm not sure who just asking is referring to.
Yeah, if they can be specific, that will be great.
Yeah,
also,
it's
like
a very unspecific thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, Erin in her live chat, not live chat, in one of her comments said, "Yeah, this is what exactly I need for my channel."
Right.
Maybe then you should go and ask them like they what the fuck they're doing.
Yes. I'm not entirely.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just not entirely sure. I'm like I might agree with that. I'm usually not the biggest fan of generalizations like that. I think as a general statement, people having a pissing contest with each other online, escalating to like defamation cases, like how did we get here? I feel like maybe reassessing like how we got from point A to point B is definitely a
stupidity and arrogance. That's how we got here.
Sharla went away.
Sharla's case is not applicable to that opinion because she never made money. That's
what I'm saying. Sharla went away. She never made any money, and these morons still kept talking about her to make money.
To be fair, I don't think Steve is making much money on it either. So maybe it doesn't matter at all.
They expect to make money on this. Erin said that this is what she needs for her channel, so they expect to make money. So yeah. You should go and ask them, seriously. I don't know if that's where your statement is indicating to. I don't know.
Another question from the chat is from Don Giovanni asking, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And the answer is a woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck wood, unless a woodchuck would chuck all the wood if the woodchuck was Chuck Norris.
I like that.
I hate that was so flawless.
Are you mad that I actually made up the second part by myself when I was like 14?
Damn, that was good. That was so smooth.
So 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years ago when Chuck Norris was relevant.
Right.
Oh, I remember Chesh complimenting me about the single sentence that I recorded about all these
Yeah.
morons. That was like, yeah, you have these, moments of brilliance, where your mind, your brain, and your mouth is like, yeah, let's go, and your lungs are like, don't care.
Hi, Generic. What's going on?
Ooh,
Yeah,
hi,
I
Generic.
mean, I don't know if. Hopefully, I feel like that's not just asking is not asking. They're just stating. So I think
Yeah,
they need
so
to
they're
change,
just making
change your name from just
random
asking to just
statements
stating.
at this point. Yeah, which is fine. They can make random statements, but they need to think about those statements before they type it out or hit enter because, yeah.
No, I mean I don't
Ugh.
mind that much. People are allowed to have their opinions. I feel like I'm confused about
Yeah,
what.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, think about it.
Well,
Like,
I'm more concerned
maybe
that
there's
I'm not answering their question because we're not speaking the same language. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Oh, is just asking speaking sign language?
Maybe.
Or maybe
Braille.
just asking needs to add a little more context for us and
What was
be a little
that
more
one?
specific.
Was it Stonebutt that said Aaron, or was it Padme that said Aaron spoke lobotomese, and then Aaron got really fucking angry?
I mean, that's really good.
Accurate.
It was very funny. And then she was like, lobotomies are a thing that happen to people. How could you say that? And I was
Really?
like, Aaron, yes. And I was like, Aaron, I'm pretty sure the last time a lobotomy happened, I don't think there's anybody alive anymore to
Right?
be offended because we don't
Oh
do
my
this
god.
anymore.
Seriously.
yeah.
Oh
Hang
my
on.
god.
But court orders are also a thing that happen to people, and yet she doesn't seem to be abiding by them.
Womp womp.
Mhm.
Oh.
Double standards much? That was a good one.
Lobotomies, and it turns into one of those like, how could you say that? And everybody and their mother responded with, I don't know if the clown shoe fits. Womp womp.
That's really good. I
Oh
like
my
that.
It was
god.
funny. It was funny.
Lobotomies
Like, for
happen.
somebody
Hashtag.
well, for somebody who claims that they're doing comedy and parody and bits, that she really doesn't like jokes.
And when
Not
she
at her
tries
expense,
to
no.
make a joke, she misses the fucking mark because she's so angry when she's trying to deliver that joke or whatever
Well-
joke she's come up with. It's
Well,
like
I mean,
she's
yeah,
so
she's an angry
just
bitty
like-
cunt. Like,
One joke she tried to make was reading a definition.
oh my god. I can just take that one clip of her like reading the definition of chargeback and then that like 10 seconds of silence after that.
Oh, the gear. The slow
Yeah, the gear
turn. Dapper, did
slow
you see that?
to a halt and then just like smoke and like steam just and sparks just flying out and then everything crashes.
It sounded just like metal crashing.
I don't think I
Yeah.
saw this.
Oh my god.
No? Oh, come on.
I'm
It's
gonna
on my channel.
TLDR it. I'll TLDR it real fast.
It's on my channel.
Okay.
I'll send you the link.
Aaron made a video, and in that video she tried to. So Manya basically did her whole. Here's all of the receipts for everything about this GoFundMe stuff. It's all bullshit. Look, I even went back to GoFundMe. Yada 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 yada. Aaron tried to make a video response to that video, and at one point she looked up the definition of chargeback fraud or chargeback on her phone and read it out. And then there's just this pause.
But it's clear that that's not what happened.
Well, yes.
A 9-month pregnant pause.
It was like, and then she tried to be like,
Baby
oh,
popped
so
out.
this. Oh, wait, no, it's not that. Oh, but this. Oh, wait, no, it's not that. And then it's just like, it just falls apart. And she chose to post this. And if I'm
Right.
remembering correctly, Manya, was that not the stream that was her third attempt at recording?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
she
her third
said that,
attempt.
yeah.
It
Yeah,
was her
third attempt.
Wow.
Seriously.
which
That
she
was-
debunked.
Compare that to what I put out. And she has done it more than me. She has done it more than me. Compared to that to what I put out, like my 8-minute video was more effective than her like 30-minute shit she put out. Like in the end, all she could do was, oh, there's some other nefarious reason then, and I'm just like, bitch, you don't know what you don't know. So
Oh, Mandy in the chat makes an interesting point about the mod call, right? Like the I think you mean the mediation call that Dapper brought up earlier.
no, I think so. They
That
got
there are
it
too
wrong.
many people in the court. It would be too much hearsay.
I
So I think that's a decent point. The number of people in the mediation call would have been me, Chris, Dapper, Manya, Steve. So it would have been 5 people, 2 of which would be in the courtroom at the time, and it is like those individuals with at least voices to verify. So I don't know how it would go. They could certainly try at the very least.
Okay, so again, not a lawyer, but I don't think that hearsay applies to a recording if you can authenticate it. Because if it's authenticated, then it just shows what it shows. It's not like I am saying that, Fred told me that he heard a recording in which Chesh said.
You can also, there are ways around it. You can also, if they're not using anything that Chris said or Manya said or Dapper said, and they're only using something I or Steve said. That
Also,
is in that
like
yeah, what I was going to say
is,
I was just going to say that it could contain hearsay, but it's yeah.
Well, the other thing is the only thing they'd need to do to verify the authenticity of the recording is have all members of the recording itself verified that yes, this happened.
But that would be Steve's lawyer that would have to do that, and people in other countries like Manya have and Chris have no obligation to respond.
And help Steve's lawyer?
Yeah,
subpoenaed.
Well, there's also that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, when the people have motivation to not help, like it's not going to help him.
Why would I help him? Like, why would I waste my precious time that I am already, like, my roster is already full with shit. Like, I'm doing a diploma. I'm streaming with Chesh. I have a full-time fucking job. I have a cat to look after. Why would I waste my precious time and waste it on Steve and his lawyer? I wouldn't do it even if they paid me to do it. Hell no. No, maybe I will do it if they paid me to do it. If they paid me like $100 an hour, I might do it.
You'd rather pick up Dr. Proton's poop.
I'm gonna get going.
I will fucking kill you.
Good luck with court.
Thanks, Dapper. We'll see you later.
I hope
Thanks.
you get that $500 and then get a tour all the U.S.
I'm sorry, Crusher, you didn't get to your question.
Oh. What question?
You had a question for Dapper. Just a random one.
Oh.
I'm sure Crusher can ask later.
I'm sure Dapper can type it in the chat if he wants to.
I'm sure they'll survive.
I will survive. I will get over you. Just give me time. Da, 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 da. I don't remember the rest of the words. Sorry.
I'm not even sure if that was the words.
I don't know either.
Enrique Iglesias, guys. Enrique Iglesias. You don't know? Seriously?
No.
That's a very, very old, like not old, but way back.
It's
singer.
I'm familiar with it. I just don't know it well enough.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I like good music.
Of course, I am not a singer, so yeah, I just butchered the whole song, obviously.
Well,
I'm just saying the song's meh.
Generic in the chat. That's the original version.
I prefer the original. I prefer the original.
It's
Klingon version.
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah, you're right.
An original version.
I just butchered it.
Each version is original to itself.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I want to give that much.
What even is originality?
Yeah. Everything's AI anyway, so.
Everything's AI anyway. I still think my favorite, like, quote unquote acceptable AI thing that I think is an okay thing to do is the fucking President's Play. That shit is so funny because it's not trying to pretend that it's anything that it's not, and it's ostensibly just like a like an impression, right? You know what I mean? Like the same way that like anybody does an impression of anybody else. It's just generated.
The one that I find funny is the one where all the presidents go hunting. And Donald Trump gets shot in the ass with an arrow.
I was listening to it's Biden, Obama, and Trump playing Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm like, this is just
Yeah, there's
so
that one too, yeah.
stupid. And it's like, why are you making these people likable?
I'm just
I wish
asking.
they were like this.
How could this happen
gonna-
to me?
I'm gonna
Yeah, they
clarify
start-
from just
go ahead.
asking from the live chat if they have any questions. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm fine to keep answering.
Yeah, if
questions. I
anybody
don't
has
mind.
any questions, we should
I'm
field
trying to
them.
remember the questions. You asked Cesar to hold on to a question. Have you answered
Oh
that?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I remember. See,
What was it?
petty nerd.
Yes,
it was
yes,
it
Manya,
was
good for
why
you.
the GoFundMe's haven't been taken down.
By GoFundMe themselves. Oh yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's a little bit of I can't give you a definitive answer on
Yeah, I
like an
figured you couldn't.
individual case, obviously, because I don't work for GoFundMe, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't be allowed to answer that question. I would suspect that it is because none of them are big enough to actually
Yeah.
get noticed, even if they are reported. They're just getting filtered through bot. So I would suspect that that's why. The same reason why like you get harassing YouTube videos that don't get taken down via YouTube's TOS. I don't know how active GoFundMe is when it comes to searching and researching GoFundMes that are there, as opposed to like I know that YouTube isn't very proactive. They rely on people reporting them.
And
So
bots.
I don't know how active or passive GoFundMe is in that regard. I don't have enough experience with it, so it might be a question better suited for
So
somebody who has studied it a little bit more than I have. But I would suspect that's why.
yeah, like
It's
like
also
when
like the TOS is also like it's buried, like it's
Mm.
buried.
bird, yeah. Like for example, like when I was asking for my refunds, initially they said they can't refund me because Steve had already withdrawn all the money, and I was just like, huh? So I had to go to the next level, that was your, the guarantee scheme, right? To get my money back. So you have to escalate with them a lot to get attention and get a result. But
They resolve it. It seems like they resolve it pretty fast and are usually on your
yeah,
side.
once it's
matter
under
of
their
actually-
radar.
Yeah.
For example, when I recently went back to them and like showed all the tweets and shit and everything and gave them links and everything, I said like this, I'm being accused of this bullshit. Can you please help me out? They were quick to respond. I think so they respond within 24 to 24 hours if I'm not wrong. And and there we were. So yeah, if you have to be proactive and you have to push forward a little bit to get it started. And after that, they will be happy to like I think so once they have assigned someone to look after you, it's a smooth ride from there.
Mm.
So yeah.
I just know that a lot of people reported them,
So
or at least said that they did.
So that's why I was like really surprised that Steve has not been able to find out what happened to the investigation that he was claiming was happening against me.
He could
I was
literally just ask. He's got the ticket numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
That's what I
It's because
did.
it never happened.
That's what I did when I sent the whole email. I put in the ticket numbers, of my refunds and everything, and even the link to the email, and everything, and links to tweets and everything. And yeah, it was just one email. That's it. I had to clarify one more thing, but it was initially just one email. That's it.
Yeah. The reason we probably never saw the response that he got is because it didn't look good for him. So.
Well, if it didn't look good for him, he probably would have cropped it to make it look somewhat okay. But
I suppose. But
chances are, what happened is they never got back to him even after multiple.
Yeah, that's possible
attempts.
too. Yeah.
And then.
They did get back to him, and they said they didn't find anything, and he didn't accept that answer.
I also wouldn't be surprised if he just conveniently didn't ask or check.
He didn't ask.
Yeah,
well, he figured he got his answer already. They're looking into it.
But there's an investigation because he doesn't actually. I mean, it's a question to say whether or not he actually cares about the investigation if he's not going to bother to look all the way.
Yeah,
up.
he already got what he wanted, which is to smear Manya. So,
right.
Well, I mean,
like.
He doesn't know what a swatting is, so do you really think he knows what an investigation is?
He doesn't know what chargeback is either.
Doesn't know what fraud is either because he's committing it.
That pause, that Aaron gave after reading that definition, that will forever stay in my heart, forever and ever and ever. That
That's
was like,
gonna live in your heart the way fucking Cheshire lives in mine.
yes, yes, yes.
So goofy, man.
Oh my god, it was funny. It was so funny. I was like,
Fucking Cheshire. God.
even the
Warms the
fact,
cockles of my heart.
I don't know if she even understands the fact that Steve never had to pull out anything from his own pocket. And when Chesh said because of that, Steve would have been double dipping into GoFundMe's, funds if I had donated again. Like, I don't think so
Wait.
she understood that at all. I don't think so.
Well, she doesn't understand the nuance of why you got your money back, so
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say she doesn't understand anything. I was about to say fair.
She doesn't understand. Period. End of sentence.
well, yeah.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I feel there's a degree though to it, right? It's one thing to not just not understand something, and it's another thing to ask questions in like a productive way versus asking questions in a wasting time or confrontational
A
way. 'Cause
malicious
there's, like,
way.
yeah, and then there's being weaponized ignorance, and it behooves me to say that Erin is an encapsulation of just weaponized incompetence. She's being
Yeah.
incompetent on purpose so that she can abuse people.
But she's so
And make money
incompetent,
doing
she
it.
doesn't even understand what that means.
Good.
Well, I think it's safe to say that guy's gone, or whoever that was.
Who knows?
Because they haven't
I don't
typed
mind.
again.
It's not really a problem for me.
Well, I'm just saying they haven't typed again, so
Yeah.
we don't need to wait for them.
No. I mean the conversation's gonna move on as it's gonna move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty good, I think, about answering questions or when people show up in chat and they want to ask questions about stuff. I'm usually decent at not letting people derail if something's already going on, but I usually don't have a problem just being direct or even inviting people on if their question is complicated enough.
Well, I mean, we got room. Why not?
Okay.
Hi, Rodent. Yeah, for
Am-
anybody who's in the
am
Discord, by
I-
the way, the link to this Hangout is there. You can just hop in.
Did I mishear, or did Chesh actually just say she's usually good at not letting people derail? Because I feel like that's a lie.
Yeah.
From chat, I'm usually
Oh, okay.
pretty good at not like this kind of a stream is not on any rails.
That's
I was
fair.
gonna say.
There's no rails here. This is Rum and Coke night. There's no rails on Rum and Coke.
We're on the railless train.
Yeah,
Who knows where
choo
it'll go?
choo. You can go anywhere.
Choo choo.
What's that
Oh,
one train that like flies in the sky or whatever? Oh, generic.
Back to the Future.
There's a few
Oh
flying.
yeah, that happened in Back to the Future at the end of the third one, right? Yeah.
I was gonna say there's a few flying trains in media.
There's also like the Thomas the Tank Engine in Skyrim.
Oh,
Rails?
I didn't know where you were
we don't
going
need
with
rails.
Rails on Rum and Coke night. Very funny.
That's why I was confused.
No, like rails as in like snorting coke. Like
Oh.
cocaine. We had to explain it to
Rails?
Rez. He's an innocent little alien boy.
Well, I mean, I had to explain to you the connection with 8-Ball and Coke.
Well, I understood it. It just went like I just didn't catch it when it went by.
Mm.
I've only
Like
ever
I
heard
know
of
the connection,
snorting
but
coke.
it
I've never
didn't.
heard of railing coke.
Well,
Yeah,
like a
it's when
rail,
you
it's
put
like a
Yeah, when you set up
side
the
by side by side,
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just called snorting.
Well, that's the thing you do with the rails.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So you set the lines up side by side, and so
Yeah.
they look like they're parallel tracks. So that's the
I
rails.
personally just drink coke. I'm not sure why other people are snorting it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like that would hurt, like the carbon. The
Well, I mean,
carbonation
yeah,
of
no,
the
that's-
drink in there.
That'd be really
I-
bad for you.
I thought they took the Coke out of Coke. Ha ha ha.
That's indeed a joke. Yes. Congrats, you got the joke.
Trevor, send more money to me for going to Kansas. Everybody, links in the thing.
Oh, that's a thing. That's the thing I was going to ask. You still have some left, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a. I'm not.
don't-
Yeah.
I was going to say you don't need to be specific or anything. I just wanted to know.
I've been pretty. I think I've been pretty transparent about it. So
From what I understand, Cheshire's actually pretty financially responsible, unlike some people.
depends on who you ask. I was told at one point that if I didn't do a GoFundMe last time, I wouldn't have been going to Kansas. Period.
Yeah, that is what we heard. Yes.
I don't know how
Who
they
said
came to that
that?
conclusion. Megs and Michelle did.
Oh,
There's a statement that Michelle made on Megs' channel that Michelle or that Megs didn't totally agree with, but didn't elaborate on.
She said she had an opinion, but didn't want to.
I'm less.
Say it.
Like I don't mind the opinion. Like that's fine. It's half a dozen than the other. I don't know why it would be a problem one way or the other.
Well,
even if I
they
couldn't-
view
but-
weird things as problems because it's how their logic works. Like saying Charlotte's name
Logic.
is the problem. They act as if saying the person's name is the problem when it's the referring to them that's the problem.
Well,
Yeah, like in any sense, referring to them in any sense, that's the
Yeah,
problem.
exactly.
And it's like don't like how and English is my second language. I keep saying that English is my second language. What the fuck?
I'm less concerned. Like, I don't mind that Michelle has this opinion. Like, it's not really an issue because, like I said, even if I did need the GoFundMe to go, I don't know why that would be a problem
Yeah.
or a negative. But that's fine. I'm more curious about how she came to this conclusion in the first place. Even if she doesn't believe it anymore, I'm just curious to know, like, where did you get this idea from? And why did you think it mattered?
Mhm. She said it in a way like gotcha, like that's how she said it. So I don't know.
Whatever.
who fucking knows?
Okay,
Oh,
so somebody
boy.
said that Blonde committed a felony. Oh, bold.
Huh?
Bold.
Color me
I'm
not shocked.
No, but like I need more proof for that. Proof that I can verify because before believing someone like that, they're talking about a felony. Huh? Nani?
Sure, but there
felonies are
are
actually pretty common.
yeah, I was gonna say there are different types of felonies.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like-
Yeah, that's fine. But that's what I'm saying. I need to know what is there. Like just saying they have a felony. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Because
What do you want me to do? I'm like, oh my god, Blonde has a felony. Oh
now
my
Blonde,
god, guys.
Blonde is just lying to people. They said
What?
they said you are never rude to me.
Okay, yeah.
Why you lying
well,
to me?
why
One
you
of the things I love
always
about Chesh is how
lying?
fucking rude she can
I
be
am.
because there's
I'm
like
not
Chesh-
nice
very
all the
little
time.
filter there.
Actually,
Oh,
I agree
you-
with them. Chesh is the nice one.
Here's
Oh my
a
god, I
Marin and
forgot
Dash.
about that. Oh my god, fuck my life. I was like, was
Generic
it Erin?
morality.
I can't believe it. He got you again.
Yeah, he got me again. Fuck my life. See, this is how busy I am. I forget shit that happened last time, and here we are.
To be fair, it's been a month. We only do these once a month.
Yeah, that also, yeah.
Although you did say you were considering another arrangement.
Yeah,
Huh?
doing them bi-monthly. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
make any major decisions until like September because of all
Yeah.
the shit that's going on this past 2 months, and also being this month, next month, August is gonna be a wash one way. Maybe we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen. And then being sick for 2 weeks, which is trash. My unfinished journey for 666 said, "Hail Necro, hail the Goblin, hail Rum and Coke." Nero. Yeah, let's go.
I was gonna say.
I mean, if
Necro.
monthly is too
Me?
much for you, I don't think any of us here would begrudge you doing it bi-monthly. That's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, twice a month. One.
Oh,
Yeah,
I-
bi-monthly
oh.
can actually mean both things.
Yeah. By
Yeah,
Curious Monthly, we happy Pride Month for last month for everybody, and happy just being yourself for everybody all the rest of the year. Generic, do you know you're muted and you have to unmute yourself? Are you okay there?
No, I didn't know that. You guys missed my bye joke, and I'm very sad now.
Just say it again.
Nope, no. It's past. It's past.
Yeah, the moment is
It's that.
past.
It's,
Don't you
yeah,
bitch
it's
out
that
on me.
feeling. It's that
No,
feeling, you know. It's
yeah,
that
no.
fucking feeling.
Yeah, see, Rez, this is a stand-up comedy thing. The bit's passed. It's done. Chesh beat me to it.
This is also a whole nother bit that he's actually
Hashtag
currently
bitch
doing
man.
right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't. That's
He didn't
never
have a
happened yet.
joke. It's all a lie.
It's all a lie. No, I did. I literally, when Necro was like, oh, whatever about bye, I was like, well, I'm it all the time. Like literally, I said exactly what you said. I was muted. I'm sad.
And that's how reverse
Aw.
psychology works. What's going
I
on,
don't
man?
know.
You had a Coke jet?
I don't know
Didn't
what you're
actually expect it to say it.
It's not reverse psychology, guys. I don't play psychological games. Just ask my ex-girlfriend.
Also,
no, I was
No.
the one playing
She
that
used
game.
it on
Oh my
you,
god.
dude.
Don't say that such things, you know. I was drinking a beverage. I would have sprayed it all over my fucking keyboard. God damn it, generic.
Hey
What?
guys,
I
do you guys
didn't-
remember? You guys remember when the internet was fun and not about like annoying TROs and hate all the time? Hi, welcome to Rum and Coke Night.
Yay.
Welcome to 2014, locked in one fucking sitting. It's that
I
last
made-
time.
I made a fucking Chuck Norris joke before you got here.
Oh, I'm
You know-
actually sad I missed that.
You
Yeah.
may have actually just nailed for me why I love being part of this community so much, and it does kind of feel like that late 90s, early 2000s internet sort of,
Yeah. Yeah, my
what do you call it,
unfinished,
like vibe.
my unfinished journey for 5 said yet more evidence of my pseudo hypothesis that Canadians pronounce everything wrong.
As a New Yorker, I have to plead the fifth on that one.
Hey.
oh wait, Chesh. You said somebody donated on the other video, and you said you were going to shout them out, and you haven't done that yet.
Oh yes, that's what was Rose. Thank you so much. That was 25 from Rose for Rum and Coke
Hey.
Night. Thank you for remembering. Yes, thank you so much, Rose. Whenever you see this in the future, if you don't see this in the future, greatly appreciated, and we'll catch you next time.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, Rose is nice.
Alicia, it's not a time bubble. It's a time capsule. That's what makes it seem special because we put things we like in it. Time bubble is like John Travolta trapped in that bubble where he can't get laid in that one movie.
Bubble Boy.
Thank you. I legit could not think of the phrase bubble boy.
Literally has bubble in the name, dude.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's not a thing. That's never existed. That's on the Mandela spectrum or whatever that's called.
I thought it was a time cop, not a time bubble.
No, a time cop is Munchkin's brother. That's a
Yes.
whole different thing. But
Isn't that the Minority Report?
no,
Time
you can't.
cop?
You can't
that's
report
the
on
butterfly
minorities with
effect.
How the
time.
fuck did we get here?
Minorities exist outside of the space-time continuum. If Marvel's taught me anything,
Oh my god.
you can't pin a good black man down, even with the power of time.
We live in a society. Not if you're Doctor Strange.
No.
I thought you were gonna say
Well-
Doctor Disrespect.
No, you can't pin him down
Pinning
either.
Miners down? What?
RNGD posted on Twitter that apparently his YouTube channel got demonetized. And he said he checked it.
Not RNGDs.
Yeah,
What?
sorry, my bad. I should have added that properly. Oh my fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, English is my second language. I
That-
have an excuse. Fuck off.
I did. I did get confused too.
Hang on.
Sorry.
Can we re-clarify whose channel got demonetized?
Dr. Disrespect's YouTube channel
Yeah.
got them on.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, RNGD was the
RNGD
person reporting that happened.
Right, that's what
And
confused me.
RNGD reported on this and he said that he checked and verified that his channel is like Dr. Disrespect's channel is demonetized. Sorry, I
Yeah.
was about to make the same mistake
Yeah.
again.
Can I just point out how fucking wild it is that? Don't get me wrong. I think Logan Paul's a sack of shit, but it's like he just filmed like a body and was kind of an inconsiderate upper middle class white kid. Meanwhile, Dr. Disrespect is like just allowed to continue to make money after chatting up with children, and then
Not
everyone,
anymore.
Well,
well, yeah, and then when it comes out, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take your money away." It's like, listen, as a former teacher of upper middle class white boys, come a little slack, goddamn. Like you got a diddler over here and like a dumb white kid. Hey,
and
I'm
you
glad
got
Logan
Mr.
Paul
Beast
went-
literally torturing people.
yeah,
Yep.
I gotta cut Logan. Fuck you, Dr. Disrespect, for making me say this. I gotta cut Logan Paul a little bit of slack. That's a double go fuck you for that one. I hate that I have to
mean,
say that.
Oh god, yeah,
Also,
Logan Paul, seriously.
Side note, I
Hmm.
can give Logan Paul a little bit of credit for being like like memeing the shit out of the flat earthers when he went to that convention, saying he was a flat earther, and they all got super excited because he was so popular, and they were going to convince a bunch of people that the earth was flat, and he was there and was like, Lamau, you guys are a joke, and that was the end of it.
Oh yeah, for
Wait, he
sure.
actually did that? Because that's
Yeah,
funny.
that's a thing that happened. He also recently, I have a video ready for when we get back to Twitch streaming, which would be soon. Probably as soon as I'm done the Claire half of that stream, because I just want to get it out of the way and done. But I found a video that is recent, but like just pre the debate with Trump and Biden, of Logan Paul talking to Trump. Like legit.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that'll
Yeah,
be painful.
Is
I'm
it?
sure.
I was gonna say, you said interesting, and I was thinking painful, which I said.
You say interesting, and all I hear is internal screaming intensifying.
You say interesting like Leonardo DiCaprio and Django, and I'm expecting some
Yeah.
fucked up hypersexual violence to happen, and I don't like it. And
Logan-
because
from
one of the
Logan
Paul
Paul
brothers
from
is
Trump
around.
on YouTube.
Well, what do you
definitely still
expect
gonna
from
hold it
those two?
I mean,
in
well,
the same room?
Jake Paul loves the N-word, so it's definitely going to be a Tarantino film.
Well,
Well,
Yeah.
you're making my point.
Don't talk about it. Yeah, you're not allowed to talk about it.
Don't talk about me talking about you.
Right, fair.
Respectable.
Stop
I-
ignoring me, ignoring you.
I actually legitimately heard that before. I heard "stop ignoring me, ignoring you." I'm like, what? I'm just minding my own business. I'm not actively ignoring you. That's not ignoring you. That's what we call rent free.
That
Oh,
for
you guys never
me,
heard of that?
If someone starts acting like that, for me, it's a cry for help.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the only response to this is, and here I was minding my own business, and then suddenly some schmuck kicked in my door.
Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, what happened, FBI?
I have come with a pizza. Thank you, FBI. I appreciate this. Ew, pineapple.
Sir,
Anchovies.
Sir, this is FBI. Would you
Pineapple
like
on
to step out
pizza.
and have a word with me?
Send me money on GoFundMe so that I can order pizza and Domino's when I get to Kansas.
Chesh, do
I
you
put
have enough
pineapple
money
on
for
every
your
pizza.
next ticket?
Yeah, probably. Not from the GoFundMe, but I'll probably manage regardless. I just appreciate the assistance to make it less financially burdensome for me to go do a good deed. Like the hero I am.
Your mum
Well,
looks after Puck, right?
With a cape and everything.
Puck's taken care of.
Oh.
No, she just let Puck wander the streets and
Puck
just.
just runs
Right?
across the border like a wolf. Like
I
I
just
sent
drop
Cheshire.
him off with the, I
Hang
just
on.
drop him
Whoa,
off
whoa,
with the
whoa, hey,
babysitter
whoa.
coyotes.
The absence of the mum taking care of Puck does not necessitate that Puck is on the street. Just
No.
FYI.
You
That
you,
means
you
she has
missed.
couriered him to me, like international
Yeah,
shipping, and he's
I
with me.
shipped Puck to Manya so I could go to Kansas.
Yeah, no,
She
I,
put
I,
him in an
Send me
Amazon
money. The
box.
GoFundMe is linked.
no, I just sent a shirt with a piece of one of my fabric shirts, and it's like, whenever you got to run from Canada, just hop over the border. I'm right here. I need protection anyway. I got to call on Puck.
This
It's
is
wild out here.
Generics over here with like a fucking baseball glove. Jump!
Oh yeah, I keep Puck like how I would keep like a raven or something like that. Just like sit on my wrist, it would fly. Hang out at the Ren Fair.
Nice. Do
you have enough for Burger King? I think that town is too small for Burger King. Like, I don't think there's a Burger King in it. Like, there are more people pissed off about this Charlotte lady on the internet than there are in her town.
You said you landed on it from the plane. There's got to be one.
Well, the plane doesn't. The international airport is in Colorado, and then I go from Colorado to one city in Kansas. No, Winfield? No,
somewhere in Kansas. Okay.
Whatever. There's an airport that's a little bit a ways, and then I gotta get.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not in the tiny town. The airplane doesn't land there.
that was
Remember Aaron
clarified.
complaining about not being able to get transport to the court? That.
Should have got that driving license when she had the chance. I'm just saying.
Also gotta
If
like get a car and stuff like that.
Yeah, like but
Pain in the ass.
if I was actually scolded by the family that was like kind of giving me some support when I landed in New Zealand, that when I didn't convert my like Indian license to New Zealand one, because you can do that because it's the same left-hand driving. And I think so I kind of avoided it for a month or two, and they were like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go and get your license, young lady. I was like, okay, it's young lady now. Okay, that's serious. Okay, I'm gonna go. And it was simple. It was really simple. I didn't have to like give a driving test or a learner's license test or anything like that. It was straight up converted to a restricted license, and then I had to just give one driving test after like so much time, and then I just got the full license after that. And let me tell you, as an immigrant, having your own vehicle, yes, it helps a lot. Yeah.
Just give Chesh enough money for a chauffeur.
I'm still up for that. If people pay enough, I'm still down for the Cabana Boy thing. I can lean more into my Dominican half and then just be a Cabana Boy. It's just going to cost money.
If we get Cheshire's chauffeur, is she going to need a booster seat?
Yes. That goes without saying. Alicia, hit me up. We'll see if we can sync up times. Because that's the end of July. Alicia might be in the same area at around the same time.
Oh, okay.
So we should meet up if that's possible.
I wasn't reading the chat, so I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Guys, just don't get excited, okay? This is not DramaCon, all right? This is not DramaCon. This is just one individual meeting another individual. That's it. This is not like a call for like a call for.
It's not even in the same Mania. It's not even in the same state.
Yeah, I know, but trolls be trolling, trying to.
Whatever,
like,
they can't read. I don't care.
I was gonna say, those kids can't read.
Yeah, they're that guy with the yarn and the push pins, except every piece of paper just has nonsense on it.
They can't read, and they're just asking questions.
Yep.
They keep asking questions they can't understand the answer to.
Yeah, no, Alicia's not going to be in Kansas. Alicia's going to be in Colorado.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You're gonna go and meet her most probably, or you're gonna,
Maybe.
not like Aaron, like saying, "Oh yeah, we'll meet like at a place like an hour away from where the hearing is happening." Like
No,
everyone from my channel, come on.
I gotta
And
stop off for my flight anyway, and being able to have some time to grab lunch and happening to meet somebody who happened to be there to say hi to get lunch does not.
Human things.
Yeah, that's just like normal real people stuff.
She's
maybe
a
I'll
goblin.
touch some grass while I'm at it. Like,
Yeah, and what we do know is that Cheshire's not going to, message out information while the hearings are happening from inside the court, nor she's going to do a stream right after the court finishes.
no, why would I do that?
But she will definitely call me. I know that.
Well, I'll probably call Mom.
Okay. Yeah, to tell me that she survived and she is still alive.
Least bad of the rectangles.
Yeah, she wasn't assassinated in the court.
Yeah, assuming that I'm not unalived by then. Who knows? Who's to say?
Well, because
she got arrested by the FBI.
Physical threat.
That I called.
And when I responded to his physical threats with like,
Aaron,
I'm gonna
you
spit on
sound
him,
weird.
I was called a racist. Like, seriously.
I am gonna bring my probably gonna wear my this is one of the reasons why I haven't started sending around the that without a crystal ball shirt yet. I'm gonna wear it again.
Yes. Are you going to wear it in the court?
Well, maybe, but probably not while I'm on the stand. Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's what I was gonna.
that might actually be a hostile witness thing they can call.
Yeah, it's like I don't think so. Like the judge will care, but it could. But still, like, why take chances?
It's not worth the risk.
Yeah.
It's also not like a nice enough thing to wear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Steve would just be like, "She's trying to intimidate me."
See, she works for Katie Joy. She has a T-shirt that she bought while we were friends for a meme.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then the judge looks at him and goes, "Sir, this is a Wendy's."
I think the town is too small for a Wendy's as well.
I mean, Wendy's is hot shit. So I mean, why you don't deserve that?
if the judge says it's a Wendy's, I want a Frosty.
No,
You have to bring it back with you and send it to me.
If it's not big enough for the Wendy's itself, that frosty machine is not working. You're usually gonna have to reconcile with that.
Informed that the Ben and Jerry's ice cream inside the airport in Denver is really, really good. So you guys are gonna have to send me money so I can get Ben and Jerry's ice cream at the airport. Because that shit's gonna be
You get it at
expensive.
the
Which-
airport.
I was gonna say which flavor.
I don't know. Do you guys want to vote on the flavors? I don't know. I don't know what they have. I don't think I've ever had Ben and Jerry's before.
Well, they
Huh?
have like
They don't exist here.
hundreds. They have
Yeah.
like hundreds of flavors, so
Yeah.
you'll have to have a
We
look.
don't have Ben and Jerry's here.
Yeah, annoying sparkling wasp newsletters. We were talking a little bit about what the potential. I think as a witness, it's a little bit responsible of me to consider what the opposing lawyer is going to ask me, so I can have like a little bit of preparedness for it. And like me being, they'll probably try to present me as a disgruntled ex of some variety, but that now begs a question about like of what was my relationship with Steve, which is like,
They might
You
have
know
to
what I
bare
mean?
bones it and say like associate or something.
yeah, but I already said that I used to be associated and was friends with Steve at the previous case because Aaron asked me.
Yeah,
So
because
I
you were honest.
right. Well, one of the questions that Erin did ask me is she asked that she said that my contention and breakup with Steve was about money. Like I stopped working with Steve because of money, and I said no. Because money wasn't the issue. Money was a potential resolution to extrication that Steve demanded.
And forced on you, yeah.
Yeah, it was Steve, what Steve wanted was this extrication negotiation. So I presented that, which had a money thing. But money was not the actual initiating issue.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I'm
you
sorry,
can
sorry.
look at the calls on like the mediation call and the moderator call to be able to tell that much.
Yeah. I'm just imagining Steve trying to enter that mediation call, in the court, and his lawyer just like, yeah, sure, we can do that, and the bills for him just keep getting stacked higher and higher and higher because the lawyer has to go through all that bullshit.
I said in the chat at one point he's gonna look over and his lawyer's just gonna be a fucking sock puppet because they're gonna be like, we're just making money anyway because he's gonna stupidly keep trying to defend himself against some shit he can't do. It's a Vic Mignogna situation. You're just stumbling ass backwards into more and more charges. Just like
Oh, why does everything keep coming
So-
back to Vic?
This is the same logic that people tried to use when they were like accusing Chesh and I of like taking advantage of Charla. They were like, you're just like making her spend all this money and you're just egging her on. I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you think her lawyer doesn't have her best interests in her heart? And they were like, no, they just want the money. Why would they, care about Charla? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, speaking as the son of a lawyer, one of the things my mom loves about her job now in particular, she's like, I really love sticking it to people who are assholes. So it's like, there is a part of like, okay, this case is super winnable and they keep making it more and more winnable every time they open their mouths. It's like, well, not only are they annoying, it's like the Alex Jones case. It's like, man, I really
Yeah.
just get to shove it to you. And that makes it 10 times better. So it's like a defense attorney is looking to defend. I'm not sure how the case is actually working because I'm not super detailed into it, but like any lawyer that's working a case that's that easy, you imagine the lawyer on the other side, Steve, and Aaron's lawyer is fucking frustrated and probably just handing everything off to their paralegal who's just like, yeah, Google some shit and then
It's
put it on the paper.
possible.
Like I know I know how those conversations go of like, I can't win this dude's fucking case, and they just hand the work. My mom was a paralegal for a while.
Especially when I think what might have been happening. You can call me a liar for this later if it didn't happen, or I'm just imagining shit. Okay, here we go.
Completely hypothetical.
Steve, yeah, completely hypothetical. Steve not giving full picture and information to the lawyer, that can also frustrate a lawyer a lot to like just give up on you at one point. Like Steve has this habit. We know that he will not give you all the information. You have to extricate out of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
all
that's for sure.
I don't doubt
Being a
that this
difficult
lawyer is
client,
going to
yeah.
be. I don't doubt that this lawyer is going to be surprised by something that comes up.
I mean, maybe, but the opposing lawyers would have already shared a lot of the information. So there's
Yes.
also that. It also like kind of depends on how much Steve is investing monetarily into how much he's paying his lawyer to go through, too, right? So there's a lot of factors that are just who knows.
Well, he spent money to try and go ahead with the TRO in California. So sounds like he has a lot of money. Maybe he can start by, returning Ruhif's money that he spent on a channel, which is now doing nothing.
Defunct.
So maybe start with, if you have so much money, Steve, that you're going and, you have extra money to go out and, go with frivolous TROs against people in California instead of dealing with your shit in another state. Yeah, maybe, start by returning Ruhif's money. I don't even care if you don't return my money. Return at least Ruhif's money because that was a lot of money that Ruhif spent for you. Fucking asshole.
Also, do we even know if Steve has a lawyer?
He does.
I'm very sure that he has a lawyer.
He does have a lawyer.
I honestly, I'd posit the guess the fact that he probably doesn't have the money for it, but thinks he'll get compensated because he thinks he'll win, right? Like he thinks he'll get that money back. So it's
still,
I think
lawyers,
that's what he thinks.
He then it's possible if he might have taken a loan or something. It's possible because no lawyer will start working on a case till they get a retainer.
I think he probably had enough money for a retainer, and then anything else that's like they're going to charge him later, but he thinks that Charlotte's going to have to pay it when the case is lost. Is what it? I don't think I think he had enough money to cover that initial cost, and then now
you're saying he's making a deposit and hoping he's getting it back later.
Yeah. It's like using loan money to make an investment on something because you don't have to pay taxes on a loan.
Why didn't he go ahead with his Katie Joy case?
Because he's an idiot. And he only has so much of a retainer because they probably have to it'd probably be more. He has a limit. Like he's banking on the fact that he's hypothetically if he won he would try to do another case, but he's not gonna win. He's
like a defamation case or something like that.
Yeah, but he's plotting on the future. He's thinking 2 steps ahead. Except he's playing fucking ping pong and we're playing chess.
He's actually putting the cart before the horse. But
we are playing Sudoku.
Yeah,
he's thinking 2 steps ahead, but he forgot the first step.
He left his bag at home.
He's thinking 2 steps ahead.
He could do 2x2 Sudoku, frankly.
No, he couldn't. He's thinking 2 steps ahead, except the game he's playing is eating glue. He's Ralph Wiggum.
I would like to point out that Rodent No Last Name in the chat said Ben and Jerry's is expensive normally. In an airport, though, you might have to take out a mortgage. Oh no, no ice cream for me.
It's not cheap.
It's one of those things where it's like it's generous to assume that this ends with restraining orders and doesn't turn into more from there after because it's already growing, right? It's already turned into contempt.
Oh,
right. So there's also nothing to say that somebody's not going to file. Like, I mean, even Manya's already starting to talk about defamation cases. So there's nothing to say that this can't grow into something more. And again, if we listen to what Renelle said, when she was talking about the email she had received, and she was showing the emails that she had received from Charla in this matter, that there's a potential collective harassment case, in which case you would
class action lawsuit.
Well, no, it wouldn't be a class action because it wouldn't be multiple people suing one person or multiple people suing an entity. It would be the FBI and the state or like the federal government charging the company as a whole, just with multiple individuals within it as a harassment. So they'd be getting like some kind of charge. I imagine that would be a criminal charge for online stalking, harassing, because it would be a crime that they'd be going for.
Once crimes are associated with them, they could be classified as a international.
Oh my god, Manya, then we would really get investigated by the FBI because they'd look into all of this shit.
Man, they can come and investigate me anytime they want. Like, if it's gonna help Sharla, I'll let them have a look at my devices all the fuck they want.
I am
Except maybe
weeping.
not.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I'm weeping for the FBI agent that has to listen
That has
to
to
the
go through
shit
all
we
this.
say.
Yeah.
That has to.
Not
You
just
poor
the
bastard.
things, not just the things
Go to
that
go
our
get a coffee.
sides, not just the thing our side says, but the things their side says.
They're gonna be listening to that side, getting frustrated, listening to us laughing, realizing that they're biased because they like us better because we're better people, and then having to like listen to the outlandish shit we say because we stop caring and just start making jokes. It's gonna be a whirlwind of emotions, and I don't think they're
I
able to handle it.
can tell you.
Yeah,
Go
that's
one
get
what
yourself
is
some Ben
that
and Jerry's.
I can tell you this thing. Like, if FBI, they're a little like me. If they get really petty and they get really frustrated, they become really hyper focused and they will comb through your shit, even if it takes them
Oh, yeah.
10 years. They will comb through your shit to get that
Manya.
every instance that's needed.
Monty, are you suggesting the universal constant that the most motivating factor in a human being is spite?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, not me. I don't exist off spite. It's not a thing.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. It was like so funny when I said like, yeah, my statement is this long, and everybody was like, "You're so obsessed." I'm like, that's another way to put it. I would just say like a petty nerd. That's what it is. Don't make a nerd go petty mode. I will remember that one time where you sneezed in the wrong direction.
Well,
Yo,
it's
All in my
You-
brain. But when I need to retrieve it, I'll retrieve it.
there was a dude on the bus that fucking sneezed like in my direction and like didn't. He covered his face and then like turned his head backwards. I was in the back and he like turns and just sneezed all over the window and like the wind is blowing. And I'm like, dog. He coughed the entire time without covering his mouth. I was just like, I hate you, and I've never hated a human being more than this moment right now.
COVID in New Zealand did one good thing, was that when people start expecting that they have the flu, or that the flu is going around, schools and daycares and stuff, now they started wearing
introduce masks to the culture.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, this guy wasn't.
In some places in Asia, like China, I think,
Mhm.
they would wear masks anytime
South
they got
Korea
sick
and
before.
Mhm.
Yeah, they would
South
wear
Korea and
masks
Japan.
before the pandemic. So
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
this
that
dude was
was
not.
Eastern and Southeast Asia, like masks were already ubiquitous.
yeah,
Yeah, he wasn't doing this. He was sucking on the glass on the fucking window. It was wild.
my
Yeah.
God.
Another. My day was. Sorry, go ahead. I saw you moving to like comment, Josh.
I was licking a window.
Oh,
like,
I didn't. I wasn't looking at the screen. I didn't know you were licking a window. Jeez.
man,
Fuck.
yeah. The thing I was gonna
that
say is
poor
that
FBI agent.
the thing the thing I was gonna say is that guy coughing on you sounds like a cough suppressant like commercial or whatever.
It was like no, it was worse. It was like that, that like super old like 1930s like don't sneeze without covering your face with a hanky like PSA. It was like that. It was like, okay, you're comically like coughing and shit like without covering your face, and your wife's sitting next to you and you guys are huddled together. And all I'm thinking is, I hope you guys get a fucking divorce. I like I hope she leaves you for like a 25-year-old black male porn star. I just fucking hate you so much right now. Like, he activated King Petty. I was praying. Like, I've not prayed in forever. I was like, you know what? I will. If that guy gets divorced, I'll go back to Islam. If that guy's wife just got off the bus and left him, I was gonna convert back because I wanted nothing but the worst for him.
There is a God.
The one thing that would convince you.
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy this this non sequitur that goes around, jumping off of that, but shifting gears a little bit. Of this idea of like, if you were presented with enough evidence of something, would you believe it? Right? And you can apply that to religion. I think a lot of people do. But I have a question for chat, and I have a question for the people here on the panel. How much what would need to be presented to you evidence wise to believe that Aaron knew how to read?
Oh,
I listen.
I
if you
didn't know
want,
where that was going.
I'll put it to you like this. I will put out one of those like 50 cent to Floyd Mayweather, like I'll give $100,000 to a charity if you can read one line of Harry Potter. Like I will make one of those just to see if she'll do it. Just because there's no amount of evidence. You see the profile pic. Like there's no it's like you said, willful ignorance. She can't read. Like there's just no way, because if she could, it would none of the I don't have words for it.
She has her moments, like when she was doing her video and she was like, oh yeah, she read my email, right, which said yeah there's no chargeback or anything.
I think
and then she read the definition of chargeback, then it took time, but her brain absorbed.
She got
that
there
impact.
eventually.
No, it didn't though. It hit her brain and bounced off.
Can I interject something that might help this? There's a difference between reading the words and comprehending the words. Which we want to pursue?
No,
saying words out loud does not encompass reading. Reading encompasses being able to conceptualize and understand and comprehend what you're reading contextually in a way that you can then process that information and spit it back and apply it.
Okay, so that might help the conversation.
No, she's like the neighbor from Arnold who like is the best of times, it was the worst of times, and then they swap the book and you realize he can't read. That's Aaron. You just memorized this thing. Someone had to read it off to her. I swear to you, that's the only reason why her daughter hangs out in the background. Is like, can you read this word for me, please? Like it's
at least I wear my unable to pronounce and read words out loud correctly on my sleeve proudly.
Right. Like
but even then, like you compared to her, like it's not a contest.
I'm telling you, she can't read. It's like it's just same as when I was teaching. Like this kid is just super confident in what the hell they don't know that they're talking about. It's you can't read, dog. I remember one day sitting in class teaching, and I told the kid, I was like, you gotta go hang out in book corner. And just read a book, and they were furiously reading a book like in anger, and I was like, you can't read, you're 2.5. Like that's all I think of when I see Aaron.
Amanya, we gotta tell Generic that there's recently been a conversation about like modding going on from one of Aaron's mods saying that Aaron is fair and reasonable for showing and allowing all sides to say their pieces in her side chat.
Generic, you remember that live stream? You know where when I came in and was immediately hidden, and then you were calling people out in the live chat when they were like, spewing vitriol about Chesh and her drinking and shit. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what immediately my brain went to when that mod said, "Oh, Erin is always fair and she lets both sides be there in her live chat." I'm like, huh? Nani?
No.
So, yeah, to that mod, I will just say, I have some questions. I'll ask them in my video. Yeah, and you said that people can tell it to your face whether you're a good mod or not. I told you on Twitter, and you just ran away like a fucking pussy. So I guess I have to make a video now.
Yeah, this is
since
a
you don't want to
preview
have
for things to come.
Yeah, and that's why I keep saying Chesh is the nice one. I just keep saying that. People don't believe me. Chesh is the nice one.
So what was it they were saying about teaching kids though? Because I heard that, and that triggers me. You just hit the pretty.
Oh.
That shit makes me angry. So go ahead.
Yeah, we were listening to it in the Discord, and they brought it up, and everybody and their mother in the Discord went, "Where's Generic?" And I'm like, "You leave that man alone."
She did, yeah.
What? So what happened? I missed that.
We're gonna have to. I almost feel like we need to wait on it and then do another one.
Oh no! Don't make this a thing. Because I have to do it. It's my moral obligation, and then it's gonna hurt me. Why do you're like you know what you are to me? I've just realized this. I'm Egoraptor, I'm Aaron, and you're Sonic the Hedgehog. Like I like you, but you hurt me, and you're like,
wow, that reference.
You're so bad to me, but I love it, and I don't know why. Like I don't.
You just love my blue spiky
Calm
ass.
down there, Playboy. Just calm down.
Listen, listen. Have you seen those videos? It's not a good. It's not a healthy relationship.
Love-hate relate. It's so toxic.
Didn't Chesh pull up one of those videos during a stream?
Yeah,
where Knuckles was like crawling on nothing.
Yeah, it was the what sometimes you gotta look inside yourself and say, what am I willing to put up with today? Not fucking this.
Not okay. Oh god.
Yeah, I pulled that up. I don't remember what I pulled it up about. I was just like, this is how I feel.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was about, but
Yeah, I
I remember
remember.
you doing it.
It was funny.
Stop treating me like Sonic treats Aaron. That's all I'm gonna say. At least give me cupcakes. Sonic Team got Aaron cupcakes. You didn't give me any cupcakes.
That's true. Not yet. You haven't put in the hours.
You're right. All right, that's fair. That's fair. I gotta earn it. I gotta earn it.
Oh god. Yeah, Manya, what was it they were saying about teaching?
Oh man, I don't remember actually. Seriously, I think so. It was so traumatic. I just yeeted it off my memory.
I wasn't
Yeah.
around
That's
to get
me
angry
every
about it for
goddamn
like
day of my life.
yeah.
Hold
Get
on,
outta
I
here.
might try to get the transcripts because I have archived that video, so I might have transcripts for that. Hold on, I'll do.
Oh, she's gonna go check.
No.
Anyway, I'm probably gonna do this tomorrow just so I can get it out of the way. So
What, the other stream?
yeah, the other half of that stream that I looked at today. I
I was
don't think
gonna
I'm
say
gonna.
you're doing another rum and coke.
No,
Oh,
not
also,
tomorrow.
also, I might actually have a look through Claire's stream that she did like in 2021 about like standards of being a mod and moderating. So
Right.
she did that like in 2021. So I'm just interested in what it says.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
torture
that.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
Not torture myself.
Claire,
If anybody wants-
standards?
Uh
Ooh, the Rez has no chill.
oh. Rez
So I
is like,
love
You
him.
know me long enough now. You know this.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see how that looks tomorrow. Goodness. We are at the 2-hour mark, by the way. We've been live for 2 hours, so it's gonna be time to start wrapping up.
oh, okay.
Daily
I'll
rum
find
and
the
cokes.
I'll find the timestamp and let's see if I can get it for you because I'm looking at the transcripts. I can't find any word relating to teaching or anything like that. Maybe it was education.
It might have been education, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you so.
It's
I'm
also
glad,
the
thank
YouTube
you.
transcripts, so they're kind of not reliable. We'll come across it tomorrow regardless.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's hilarious
go-
that in
Sorry, go
order to trigger generic these days, all you have to mention is any relevant topic.
No. Well,
Yes.
yes.
Define relevant. Relevant to
to
me.
Everybody mad all at once.
No.
Oh.
So the presidential debate.
No.
Oh God, no, Dash, why?
I love
no.
that's a thing that doesn't affect the vast majority of the people in this call right now are not affected by that on a technical level, and it's.
I'm pretty sure you're the only American in this call right now.
Yes.
Oh, okay, then yeah, cool. That's cool. Why I'm also the only brown guy? I don't like it. It's offensive. It's
Hey.
You're a token. You're a token.
I said brown guy. You're not a brown guy.
Hey, I put the link out just because you're the only brown guy that hit the link. Doesn't like.
Am I like there are like 8 brown people in
You
the
want
Discord.
me to get Fat Man DD1 in here?
Oh, this whole time I thought that was Aaron.
You.
I'm a brown guy at heart.
You want me to see if I can get Black Wolf OG Black Wolf 420 to talk to generic?
Oh God! Oh no!
I'd watch
None-
Oh my
that.
God!
None of those
Yeah,
none
of
of those
course
will end
it's
well.
toxic as shit. Of course we will watch that.
It'd be such a fucking dumpster fire.
I mean, would it be a circus? Yes, but would generic? Are
Every-
we sacrificing generic to enjoy it?
You wouldn't be sacrificing me. It's the moment where like Spawn goes to hell and is like, I just want to go back to my normal life and decides to break free. It's like you would just be unleashing a demon, and
Yeah.
I can't. The last time Chesh did that, it was 3 hours of me yelling at some fucking moron, and then broke my mind broke, and then I disappeared, and then I came back and it broke again. And it's like I'm like Wolverine. I gotta heal, and then I come back and I'm drunk, and the adamantium is killing me, and I'm fucking like, Rez is Charles Xavier.
No.
I like to think that Rez is the Emma Frost, the emotional support carry.
Yeah, the one sleeping with the guy that shouldn't be sleeping with you because his girlfriend's gonna be mad when she comes back, like she always does.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. Oh my god, get the two of them on to talk to G-Man.
Oh
No.
god.
I heard about G-Man's slavery stuff. No.
Yeah,
No,
we're
I
not doing
can't.
that. We're not playing that game. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for joining me. If you want more of these kinds of hangouts, we do them in the Discord on a semi-regular basis. They're just not rum and cokes. We'll also be back next month on the 5th of August.
First
believe.
Monday.
The first Monday is the 5th of August, yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe I will be back by then from my vacation and from Kansas, assuming I'm not unalived. If you want to help me get to Kansas and back and help me survive the endeavors, the link to the GoFundMe is there. I'll probably put it in the description as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back. There's also more streams coming. I'll be live again tomorrow to cover the other half of whatever it is. And I have to go take care of my poor dog who is now hiding in the closet because the fireworks has started. You see his little head sticking out there.
Yeah, I had fireworks while this was going on.
Poor guy. Thanks for joining me, guys. We're going to get out of here. I'll be back live
Right,
tomorrow.
everyone.
Volcano show is on Friday if you're interested in seeing more Landon, and we'll be back with more art stuff on Twitch soon. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.